Hello, welcome to a video that I hope is going to end up as a vlog. I'm off of work for the next 10 days. So I'm hoping to pack as much reading in as I can. I'm also going to be doing some semi-fun things. Like this weekend, we're gonna go whitewater rafting and to a concert. And then the following weekend, we're going to Buffalo for a wedding. So I thought maybe it might be interesting. And I'm also doing some house things too. So let's talk about some of the things that I'm hoping to read within the next few days. I'm almost done with A Duet for Home by Karina Yan Glaser. I think it's probably gonna end up being a 3-star read. I only have like an hour left of the audiobook. The next thing that I really want to focus on is NFSW. So this is kind of my next read, and I really want to like devote my energy and time to really focus on this one when I'm listening to it, to really like dive into it. Another one that I'm trying to finish up soon is Welcome to St. Hell, My Trans Teen Misadventure by Lewis Hancock. This is a graphic memoir. And then I have a few other things that I'm hoping to read within the next 10-ish days, and I'll show you some of those things. These two books that I just got recently, Blood Orange Night, My Journey to the Edge of Madness by Melissa Bond, and it's a book about a woman who just gave birth and she is having trouble sleeping, and her doctor prescribes her so much medication, and then she kind of becomes addicted to these pills, and it's hard for her to wean herself off. The other book that I have is a book of essays called Some of My Best Friends, and this one just looked really interesting when I was walking by and I saw it. Hello! So here is a little wrap up. I did finish a book so far. It is Sunday now. I finished A Duet for Home by Karina Yan Glaser. I think I am going to rate this 3 stars. The characters were great, but it didn't have that emotional oomph that I need in my middle grade stories. And I'm currently listening to an SFW and loving it so far. I'm maybe only 30 pages of the way into it, but it's a pretty short book. I'm enjoying the main character so far. She definitely has personality to her. We went whitewater rafting yesterday, and I couldn't take like any video because you can't bring anything with you on the raft, but it was pretty fun. It's very light. It's the end of the season, so the water's shallow and the rapids weren't that intense, but it was the first time I've ever gone whitewater rafting, so I think it was like a good first time for me. And then after that we went to a concert and we saw G-Love, Dispatch, and OAR, which are not bands that I particularly love. They're mostly like my husband's bands.
I'm stuck in my ways, and I sure ain't gonna budge. Let's do some.
But I did really enjoy OAR, and it was super fun because it was outdoors. You like brought a blanket and stuff. This morning we went to brunch and it was delicious, and then we went to a state park near us that we love so much because of the red rocks on it, and it's very different than the like surrounding area. I feel like you see some of the red rocks closer to like Utah. There are some in Colorado Springs as well, but I really enjoy that park a lot. And that's pretty much it. Now I'm starting kind of like all of my chores, doing some laundry. The only other thing really is that I haven't stopped listening to the new Beyonce album, and that's taking up a lot of time too, but like it's really good and super fun to listen to, and I just want to keep listening to it. So that's what's kind of competing with my audiobook listening right now. Another thing that I learned today is that this shirt that I'm wearing, try to get you an angle here, this shirt that I am wearing today, I bought at Goodwill for $5, I believe, and I was like researching it because I never heard of this brand before, so I was looking up the brand. The retail price of this shirt was like $2.95 originally, and I got it at Goodwill for $5. I don't really feel like it's worth $295, but it's definitely like one of my favorite shirts that I've gotten from Goodwill recently. You know me, I love me a deal. Sam. He's one of the couches now. There's actually still 2 more pieces, which we're gonna put over here. So we're gonna have it facing this way with the back over here,
and then get that one out of here, which we've had for a really long time. It's like missing buttons. It's a really nice chair, but we're gonna move it out of here. So then these two, if we ever have like a lot of people over, we'll just add to this side, reconfigure it. If and when we move to a bigger house eventually, we could put them all together because you can customize them as you see fit. I got some new little pillows for it.
Hello everyone, it is now Tuesday. I did not record anything yesterday really. I ended up getting to page 100 of an SFW and so far like nothing is happening, and I really thought that I would understand and like would have picked up what's happening by now. I feel like I thought that I was going to be more engaged with this, and that's what I'm going to really focus on today. I'm really going to try to maybe even finish the whole thing. The other thing that I really want to get to today is Welcome to St. Hell. So those are my two things that I'm focusing on today. Last thing I really need to do is to fix my dress for this wedding that I'm going to on Saturday. We're leaving Thursday night and I need to fix the straps. Short girl problems, girls with small boob problems. Also, did you see my super awesome little shirt? Mickey's Book Club. Out of Print was having a BOGO sale and these are actually discontinued. I'm really sad that like Out of Print is not going to make these anymore because they are so cozy, they're so cute. I don't know, like they don't really care about sweatshirts. People like sweatshirts. So I got this one and then I got a Belle one that I'll show you what it looks like.
My glove. Give it to you. He's getting tired now. Sam, please, it's gonna be wet. We are in the mood for a chicken piccata, and by me I mean me.
I'm on here to let you know that I finished 2 books. I finished an SFW last night, and I think I'm ending on 3 stars for this one. I really thought, in my opinion, it was going to do a little bit more. I don't know, like go farther than the things that we already know when it comes to patriarchy and like the workplace and harassment and how women exist in those arenas. I also am 30% of the way through Blood Orange Night and I'm listening to this one. I just listened to it during my walk with my dog and I'll continue reading this one today. It's a pretty quick read. I think I only have like 7 hours left of the audiobook and I'm almost at 2 times speed listening to it. And I do have some other chores that I need to do today, so this is going to be my focus today. And then the second book that I read after NSFW I just finished this morning. By the way, look at my eyeshadow. I was trying to be Katie Jane Hughes. Here's the picture I'm inspired by, and as you can tell, not as good. It's very blocky and not as cool as her look for sure, but it is colorful and that's been fun to play around with makeup the past couple days. The light is here. All right, and then the last book that I just finished this morning is Welcome to St. Hell. This is My Trans Teen Misadventure by Lewis Hancock, and this book was pretty good. I think I'm settling on 4 stars. It's a book about Lewis Hancock realizing that he's a boy and what that transition was like. It's a teen graphic novel and I definitely think it's lighter than genderqueer, but it does still deal with pretty heavy topics with the body dysmorphia. There's anorexia discussed, like disordered eating, to do all of that to try to fit what you want your body to be like, and then also kind of identity things when it comes to like, I'm a girl, am I a lesbian, I'm a boy, do I like girls, and kind of the way that he got to where he is today. I love the parents in here and the grandparents. I feel like I've read a lot of queer memoirs lately where the parents have been very supportive, and that's lovely to read from. Then I looked him up on TikTok. He's got a lot of followers on TikTok and he posts like comedy videos, and yeah, it was pretty interesting. You have to keep in mind that he's from like northwest UK and the accent there comes through in his writing, and sometimes I had to like read it over and over again to understand what was being said. Now I'm going to go to Target because I need to buy a card for the wedding that we're going to this weekend, and also I need to buy some thread because I'm fixing the dress that I'm going to wear this weekend, and I need like bright purple thread basically. None of the colored threads that I have work for fixing the dress. I'm fixing the straps. Truly, so much has happened in the past few days. I have not like sat down and given you kind of like little wrap-ups of what I've been reading. We're back home from the wedding and everything. I will talk a little bit more about that in a second. I'll let you know all the other things that I ended up reading. I really liked Bad Sister. It was pretty relatable. I feel like older sisters would relate to this. The main character is dealing with stuff and there's a little bit more like blood and violence and injury than I ever put on my brother, but still, like, the imaginative play and the games that they came up with together, and just like the ways that you annoy your little brother, that came through as something that I related to. I also read Blood Orange Night. I listened to this mostly and I did enjoy it. I think at the end what I settled on is that the writing is a little bit overwrought for me, a little bit too much. While I was reading this, I just hated her husband for the entirety of it. I was just like, girl, get out of there. Yeah, it's something to really consider if you're ever prescribed any kinds of drugs like that, especially ones that are brand new to the market within the last 10-15 years. Like, there is not enough data about that. I would say that this is a really compelling read in the sense that I wanted to find out how it ended and how she's doing now, but I would say that the writing is not particularly 100% my taste. While I was on the plane to go to the wedding, I read probably the most niche book I've ever read maybe in my life. It's called Everything I Need I Get From You: How Fangirls Created the Internet as We Know It. I'm really glad I put this in my bag at the last second. I was kind of planning like, what is it that I want to take with me on the plane? That's always like a hard thing for me, to decide what books to bring with me. I ended up picking this one because it's so lightweight and like compact, and I felt like it fit in my bag really well, and I also thought that it would be a good one to read as I'm like listening to music. That's exactly what happened. I think I read like 100 pages on my way there, and then I read the rest of the book on my way back. What I mean by niche about this is like, you're not gonna like this book unless you are a fan of like pop music, unless you're a fan of like fandoms online, unless you understand what being a fan is, what being a stan is. If you don't like One Direction, this might not be right for you, because it is used as so much of an example in this book over and over again. And also Tumblr, like if you know Tumblr's history and you used Tumblr growing up, that's something that was really, you know, something that I used a lot when I was in my, you know, like late teens and early 20s. Something that I used too much, some would say, trying to understand why people online are so involved in these types of fandoms. And then also on the plane, I started Some of My Best Friends by Taja Eason. I only read the first chapter of this, the first essay. I liked it, but I didn't love it, so I'm gonna see if I really get into it in the second essay. The first one was about diversity in animation. The wedding was awesome. It was freaking hot, so hot, like 85 degrees, and the sun was like just hurting you from behind. August wedding, hot. We left the wedding early because we were gonna go to sleep early because we had to wake up the following day at 4 in the morning for our 5:30 flight, basically. We go to the hotel, we're ready to go back to sleep. Also, I'll insert like videos of what the hotel looked like because it was so cool. I loved the way that the hotel looked. Bed and breakfast kind of place, and I love staying in interesting bed and breakfasts. I love the aesthetics and the designs of them. Got back to the hotel, we were gonna go to sleep, and then we got a text message that our flight was canceled literally 4 hours before the flight was about to take off. So then we had to like call Southwest and try to find something, but there was literally no other flights that were available at all, even like within the vicinity of like 2 hours of us, because we had a rental car as well. So we ended up driving to Pittsburgh, which is 4 hours away. 4 hours away, so that we could get on a different flight after we got refunded our money. We ended up breaking even, but it added so much stuff to our trip, so much extra time wasted to our trip. Driving for 4 hours, getting to a new airport, Pittsburgh airport, and then kind of like running around and being like, ah, and then making sure that we were able to still pick up our dog from boarding. It was just a lot, and it's not the first horror story that I've read and heard about this summer about traveling, and some people have definitely had it worse because at least we did have a car and we could go somewhere else. I hope that you enjoyed watching this video. I don't know how I'm gonna like put these all these things together and cull a video out of all of these random clips. I hope that you enjoyed it. I haven't done a vlog in a while and I feel like I'm not very good at them, but I did want to try this one out since I had been away from work for such a long time. And now, speaking of work, I'm gonna go to work now. So thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you in my next one. Bye bye.